All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thanks to those who are attending and those who are watching the call recorded. I know Sunday mornings, I know a lot of you had put that aside last week, but it's sometimes hard with family and getting prepared for the week to do that. So thankfully, Zoom has good old recording capabilities. And hopefully I will have a way to upload this into the community as well. But in this particular call, I really wanted to not only teach you a few new techniques, but also to kind of follow up from the event, kind of ask you guys for any feedback. We already started a little bit with that this morning before we hit record. And then also kind of asking you questions of things that you might need so I can orderly and serving in a serving sense, drop my business tools into the community. Group coaching calls will cover a little bit more about how the community works and how you'll be accessing things as I put them in so that you can be really maximizing your efforts in networking, in client attraction, in business building. And we will also have an opportunity for those who are on the call, if you want to reiterate who you are, what it is that you do, because we do have some people that weren't able to make it to the event due to illness, who will be watching the recording or hopping on, and would love for you guys to have an opportunity to network again and drop your contact information, everything in the group. So um, let's see. All right. I wanted to quickly just say thank you one more time to Angie Palmer of Angie's Real Food and Dr. Lita Karmani. In our event last week, not only did I present and share some of the techniques on how to network properly, but these two beautiful ladies helped us with a few different things. So Dr. Lita, who is an EFT tapping specialist, actually led us in a beautiful meditation and tapping session that helped us kind of start to become aware of and break through the energy that creates blockages in our business. So I just think she's so powerful. And if any of you who did attend the event or did not, if that seems to be part of the reason that you don't attract money as easily or attract clients as easily, she's been such a great tool, not only in my business, but many of my clients and many of my colleagues to help overcome those things. And I just adore her so much. She's also very, very cute. Miss Angie, she did this amazing nutritional demonstration. It was so tasty. She's actually going to be featuring a free bone broth meat stock a broth masterclass to help benefit gut health. I know many of you were interested in it, and it was a little hard to share a link to that. So whenever you get a chance at some point in this call, Angie, feel free to drop that link in the chat box. And for those of you who are calling, or excuse me, watching the recording, if you need that link, we will be posting on social media. It will be emailed out. So make sure to look out for that. Don't miss out on the opportunity. Angie, remind me what's the date and time? I don't remember it off the top of my head.
It's going to be on February 3rd at 6 p.m.
February 3rd at 6
Yes,
p.m. Perfect. So after work, guys, she's going to be, and I believe we'll be recording that, correct, Angie?
correct.
Okay, cool. So those of you who might still be at work or are busy with the kiddos, um, please let us know so that you can get a link after for the recording. But you guys, bone broth and meat stock has changed my life. I know it turned my brain back on after during my postpartum phase, let alone all the beautiful gut benefits I've received before. So it's just such an amazing, actually, I have some on the stove going right now. I
Nice.
was like, perfect timing. I'll get the call done and I can come back to it. It should be done. So thank you, Angie. Is there anything
Thank you.
you want to share with everyone?
I'll be putting out like what sort of benefits with minerals and vitamins, and I'll include that in the slides of the conversation as to like why you should care about stocks and broths and what the difference is. And then I'll go over which ones you should try first and why.
Mm.
But yeah, I'll release that for you.
Awesome, awesome. So you guys, especially if your health, I would say it's like different pillars that need to be balanced out. And they're one of the main pillars is your own health. Yes, some of us are in the health field, like Dr. Lita, Angie, and I. But for all of us entrepreneurs, all of us women who have busy, really, high level lives, there's so much that's being asked of us. It can be challenging to meet our health needs, especially nutrition. So I just thought it was so important to share this pillar with you guys via Angie and her different services and knowledge. Not only to refer her, but for your own health and your own health that bleeds into the health of your business. Okay. So thank you, Angie.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So I'm going the wrong way. I'm going to skip through some of the things we talked about. Okay. Oh, there's some funny ones in there, huh? Well, there we go. All right, so really quick for those of you that did not attend the event, I just want to quickly introduce myself. I am Dr. Monica Foytzik. I'm a licensed acupuncturist. I've been in business for over 9 years now. So I graduated and did my fun board exam in 2015. I've actually had the opportunity to run different women's groups and events since about 2017. I've done all kinds of MLM cells, which was great, but I learned a lot in sales and how to get comfortable with the idea of sharing something that I'm really passionate about. It just leveled up really quick when I got involved in understanding women and their unique needs and unique desires. And also just selling things, I know everyone's probably cringing how many times I said sell just now, but getting comfortable with making relationships and building those relationships and networking and then sharing and building trust in my community so that whatever I brought to the table and in this being over the years now acupuncture and those health services as well as now feeling a need that I saw as a teacher. I taught some Japanese I actually supervised new students in the clinic and have taught a few workshops in Japanese and cosmetic acupuncture. I chose to step away from working in the school because I wanted to start a family. So I did become a mom in 2023. But in that time, I was, really excited to share my Japanese acupuncture knowledge and how to, put the needles in and herbs and all that fun stuff. But the biggest questions I was getting was like, they gave us one class on business, and I don't even understand what just happened in it. And so, as that happened, I began to realize that and not only my acupuncture students, but my friends who were starting their Reiki businesses, their therapy businesses, their nutrition businesses, they were getting kind of hung up on that too, because in their curriculum, the main focus is on you becoming the expert at what it is that you're studying, right? So that creates a lot of challenges as we go out and go, man, this business thing, I thought I would open my doors. I thought, like here I am, here's my cute logo I made on Canva. And oh, like I rented this space. It's hard to get past the idea of, okay, I did all this and having people actually show up, right? That is a huge challenge. And yes, all parts of business are really, really important. But what I found is that the most important thing when you have a client-led business is finding clients. And you can figure out and you can make mistakes and fix all those other things, obviously within legality, right? We don't want you breaking any laws or anything. It's important to keep that up. But the most important thing as far as building the business is truly getting clients and building trust and care and love into those clients so that they keep coming back, right? Client retention. So that is what I like to focus on. And in our event that we had last week, our beautiful event, oh my goodness, you guys were just so, so amazing to share energy with. We went over some proper ways to do that. So I'll go over that another time and I'll explain where you can find that. But I really want to start teaching you guys some new things today. And these were some of my slides of what people think I do. All right, I'm going to skip through some of this as what we went over in the event. Hi, Kathy. Good morning. Okay. All right. So again, some of the things we went over in the event is how to properly network. But one of the things I touched on, but I didn't really elaborate on, is how are you using your smart device? You guys, you have everyone's either on their smart device right now, or you have it right next to you. I'm pretty sure on a charger, right? It has so many contacts in it. Um, and it goes just so, I feel like you guys don't really, and not you specifically, but people I work with initially don't really utilize it to its full potential. Okay, so today what I want to cover is if you have that smart device, how can this week, this month, you start monetizing by really utilizing it with more intention, more mindfulness. Okay, this is how most of us are probably using our smart device. We're sitting in bed, we're flipping through Instagram, we're consuming that content, we're reposting something funny. I'm not saying I do it too. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but let's split up some of that time. Let's start carving out some time to utilize the aspect of it that can build our business. So how are you, Monica, how am I supposed to do that? Okay, so if you guys have launched your business or are launching your business or have already launched your business but are relaunching your business, it's never too late to use this strategy for text marketing. So in this day and age, I mean, people like to be communicated to in a few different forms. The one that I found is the for like 90% of my clients, the most effective because they can do it while they're doing something and multitask and respond back to you quickly, or they can save it for later and see it and respond later. But it kind of it just seems very highlighted in their phones. They're less likely to miss a text than say an email, right? All right. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and write this phrase down, or if you watch the recording, get prepared to write it down later, and then you're going to rewrite it so it works for you. So this is the phrase. Hi, my name is Monica. I just opened up, or maybe I'm expanding. So if you're someone, say, who opened up 3 years ago and aren't getting the business that you need, it's okay to say, even if everybody supposedly knows, and let me tell you, they don't, because you think you posted something on social media. If you actually look, maybe 2% of your followers saw this post, right? Just saying. Those algorithms kind of suck now. So, hi, my name is Monica, or hi, Joe. I just opened up my business, my acupuncture business. I'm so excited to help support people with their health. I wanted to reach out to see if you'd like to schedule a session with me. If not, no worries. Okay, this is key, guys. If you know anyone else that might need my services, please let me know. And you can say, hey, Monica or Alex, Erica, Kathy, Angie, Tori. All right. So make sure that you guys write out this message and try to leave the emotion out of it. This is the hard part. This is the part that really one-on-one coaching comes into play if you can't fight past this mental battle. Maybe you need to work with Lita and get some tapping in. But more times than not, the people that you've cared to save their contact in your phone really want to support you. Yes, they might, as I talked about in the event, the timing might not be right for them. Or let's say in Kathy's, who does dog training, right? Puppy training and dog boarding, maybe you don't have a dog. And you're like, well, okay, well, I don't really need my non-existent dog to be trained. But you know what? Joe down the street does. Let me hook him up with Kathy. Boom, right? So once again, hi, John. I just opened up my dog training business, and I'm super excited to help support people on getting their pups well trained and good to go. And I want to reach out. Obviously, Kathy probably write this out much better. I wanted to reach out and see if you need a consultation. If not, no worries. If you know anyone else that might need these services, please let me know. Keep it super relaxed but professional. If you write too long of a text, people get overwhelmed, you know? So when you write it, try to keep it as simple as possible, but do explain why you're reaching out. Um, the goal is with this to, okay, so here's the nitty-gritty aspect of it. The goal is to really try to hit everyone in your phone, and probably if someone's in the phone that you don't feel comfortable texting, probably don't want them in the contact. So just go through that, pass that contact by or delete it. You can reach out to, you want to plan on reaching out to everyone because let's say your mom. Yes, she probably knows what you're doing, but have you ever asked, hey, mom, do you know anyone that is open to working with me? However, you want to phrase that. And if you actually haven't done that, the funny thing is, we always think that people are thinking of us, but just like us, we're all consumed with what we're doing right now, right? And we have to be diligent in putting in the effort with even the closest people in our lives to ask for that referral. Ask. So you can hit up everybody in one day, but the response or even just having all those text messages living right there instead of like, who you need to tend to with work and everything might be overwhelming. So setting a goal of how many text messages you're going to set each day is more realistic. Let's say you set aside Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 a.m., maybe 9 to 10. Some people don't like getting text messages before 9. Okay, so maybe you're going to send out 10 of those on those days and continue that process for several weeks until you finish getting through all your contacts. That is a feasible way to get it done. And then slowly drip in responses. Also understand not everyone's going to message you back. So in sales, the idea is for every 100 people we reach out to, around 10% will be responsive. So also understand it is not weird for people to not be responsive, okay? Instead, it's but they probably saw the message 9 times out of 10. And when they think of someone or themselves, maybe a year down the line, maybe 2 weeks down the line, maybe 5 years down the line, they're going to remember this. Whether it's through text, maybe it's through social media and other aspects of your marketing, and they will think of you and send that referral. Okay. All right. So a few people have relocated, so I'm just going to put it out there. Something that people don't always understand is how well connected we are in different states and different countries. So just because they aren't in San Diego doesn't mean that you can't reach out to them. Okay, so maybe you were living in Northern California and you moved down here to San Diego, and you started your esthetician business, right? So, hi, John. I just opened my doors in San Diego um, to my new spa, and I'm excited to serve my new community. Could be a little more specific about what it is that you do. And I wanted to reach out and see if you knew anyone in the area and send my way. So, for example, I know a lot of people in Northern California in certain areas. Maybe if you told me Like, for example, I know a chiropractor in Tahoe. I now, because my partner's from there, know a lot of people from Tahoe. If that conversation comes to mind or someone's complaining about back pain to me, I'm more than likely going to refer that community or few people that I know to the person who I've connected with. Does that make sense? So, another example is maybe you have some friends in Texas. Either they lived in San Diego at one point or just connect with people for some reason via social media. Just don't doubt their ability to send people your way. Okay. People love to be in our business, not me specifically, but it's more prevalent in people's minds than you think when you give them the opportunity to really understand what it is you do and the knowledge that you are looking for new business. Okay. So everyone's due diligence, if you are open, if your doors are open and you're ready to look for clients, I highly recommend this text strategy. Okay. All right. So another aspect is if you get a follow-up, or if you even want to integrate this in the first message, and let me give an example. I worked with a lot of people that do Reiki, and a lot of people don't understand what that is. So you can have a link to a description page. So it doesn't have to be a video. I think some people think, oh, I have to have a video ready to go so people understand. That would be great. But to get started, to move fast, to get a few more clients at the door, sometimes just a description that really eloquently describes, you can use Chat GPT. I swear, Chat GPT is amazing. So if you don't have this written out, ask ChatGPT to write it out. Hi, I have a Reiki business. I'm trying to explain to people what Reiki is. Can you create a simple paragraph about what it is that Reiki is and how it's performed? And you can edit it to your liking and to your specificity and send this out. My encouragement is that it's more of a link. So I can't tell you how many people are like, wait, what is this? I don't understand it. Have that stuff ready. Or you can use a video. You can also, in the beginning, if you're again moving fast, is if you have someone more likely not local, but that sometimes doesn't matter because you're connecting with this person. But if they have something already, like on social media, a lot of times we share, like I'll share stuff from other acupuncturists because it explains a little bit more about what we do, but I didn't create it. That's okay. I'm creating the relationship on social media via my page, but here's what this amazing woman in Australia wrote about moving liver chi and what that is. Okay, so you can benefit from the work of others. Okay, or you can lead people to your social media page if that is already expressing and very clearly showing what it is that you do. So if people have questions, because now what is happening? Maybe they see that and they're like, huh, interesting. But what's going to happen because they're following you now is hopefully with proper algorithm, you guys are going to start connecting. They're going to start seeing your posts more and continuing to get what I call follow-up information and follow-up connection. Okay. Is this helpful? Is this a helpful strategy? Is it making sense to everyone? So before I keep moving on, if you have questions, feel free to pop it in the chat. And if it's making perfect sense, if it's clear and you guys are loving it, you can type some 111s in the chat since it's easy to do 111. Awesome. Great, great, great. Okay. You could also be super clear with social media if you're very confident in that your social media expresses what it is that you do. So shoot me a follow to stay updated on my business and learn more about what I do. Cool. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback, ladies. Awesome. All right. Another strategy that some people do, let's say there's some people that move from one business to another. There are, again, people who open their doors in a new community. So you can offer specials. I'm very cautious with this. I want you to make sure when you do that you're clear about what they're saving Because one thing I had to practice in the first 5 years that probably killed my business because I was getting plenty of patients, but I was, just fighting that inner battle of, am I good enough? Are people enjoying what I'm receiving? And projecting my money obstacles, my money mindset that was very poor at the time onto the people that I wanted to work with and assuming they couldn't pay like the proper fee and that I had to start super low. These are things that when you get into that habit off the bat in your business, after all the amazing training and enthusiasm you've created in this skill and this beautiful service that you're giving to clients, we tend to like talk ourselves out of charging people. This is a really challenging obstacle. Once again, Lita's great with this. This is something we'll work on here as well. It's just something that once you recognize it in yourself, you gotta like nip it in the butt. However, sometimes to get momentum, say you have only 3 clients and your goal is 20, you need to get some movement, and this can be beneficial. So, new client specials might be a great strategy. And holidays, maybe you're an esthetician and there's a Valentine's Day holiday coming in. You can send that out to all the husbands or that you know, or boyfriends, or maybe it's Galentine's for that woman and she wants to treat herself and you give them 20% off. Fill your books for the month of February, right? Or if there's new services, um, let's say like Angie, she's going to be launching more of a transformational service soon. And maybe to get a few more people in, she offers them a 5 or 10% discount, right, on that package for signing up within 30 days as she launches it, right? So there's different ways without taking so much off of the price point, but it does save that person money. But you want to also keep the value because people are more responsive with value, okay? And they show up and give the effort. Okay. So, any questions before I move on to social media? Let me just check. You guys can drop things in the chat. I can always come back to it. All right. So, social media is it's really hard and it's a skill in itself. So don't beat yourself up if you're watching your friend in her business just posting every day and just crushing it. The thing that we forget is that person maybe 5 years ago or 2 years ago was just getting started. And if scroll down, those posts that you're seeing now probably did not look so great, right? So the thing is, you could just gotta get started. Um, and it takes those, like I explained at the event, sometimes it takes those thousands of hours to get really good. And I don't mean thousands of posts, but it takes several hours of time over a span of time to get good at this skill. But you just got to get started. And what I love about social media today is actually there is an embrace of imperfection. All right. I actually get more feedback on my, especially my stories, where I'm just like, I'm just going to throw the camera in my face and start talking about things today. And I get a lot of great feedback that way. So that might not be your comfort level, but just know that it's okay to post imperfectly. Yes, I think posting should be a little bit more buttoned up, but that's what's so beautiful about social media now is there is different ways to participate. So if you do this, you need to post regularly, okay, if you need clients or you're trying to build yourself as a certain person of expertise, you need to post with speed and consistency. So I always say if you can post at least once a week and then break it up. So break up the aspects of posting. Is it developing new ideas for content? That should be a session within itself. Then another session in the week is starting to film aspects of that content, right? And then it's going in and editing it and posting it. Okay. Weeks will look very different with this, but if it's on your books, if Monday from 9 to 12, you decided to film content, you have those are when it's on your schedule, it's like a promise to yourself to at least put energy towards that, mindfulness towards that task. Okay. So, one thing I want to talk, and I tend to lean toward Instagram, but all social media platforms can be used this way. But this is what lives on your page is your glorified resume. This is why some people have to have had to make their profiles private as they apply for jobs and stuff because jobs are looking, people are looking at when they connect with you at your social media. So, although I don't want you to put so much emphasis on this, if this isn't something that you have already started, okay? But I want you to understand that about social media. People like it because they can see you as a real person. Like attracts like. So if someone is following you and like, wow, I really resonate with what she reposted. That little meme was hilarious. They're more than likely to comment. And that's the point. When we get on social media, we want people to share our stuff, like our stuff, comment on our stuff, DM us. That's what creates a stronger algorithm with that person to start connecting and starting to see their stories. They see your stories and posts, and maybe people in their community that you follow or follow you. Okay. So that's like in a very basic way how social media works. If you didn't know already, some of you probably are experts at this. Okay. So tips. I call it my like reverse social media strategy because a lot of times people are so focused on the posting and the stories and the creation that they forget the algorithmic aspect of it. So how do you actually get people to see those posts? How do you actually get people to see your stories? So they see that hey, the business is open. So you can create a actionable strategy, okay? So what you're going to do is when you start planning how you're going to interact with social media, I want you to think about how your week looks like and start finding time, whether it's at night when the baby goes to bed. And I want you to start following pages that you like, and I want you to mimic them. Okay? Don't be afraid to steal people's ideas, right? So, find 3 pages that you like, and I want you, as you develop content and how they portray themselves, start being like, wow, that people seem to really like that, and I like it too. I think I can do that. So start stealing those tidbits, okay? So with the algorithm specifically, I want you to figure out how to interact with other people's pages. Okay, so what that looks like is following every day 3 to 5 new businesses or pages. So business can be a person that live in your area. And this could be, let's say for me, it's a huge medical building, right? If I'm looking for a new business, I would slowly and steadily, because if you do too much at once with this, it can throw off your algorithm and like start I don't know why they do this, but just take it from me. So I would probably find 2 or 3 businesses in my medical building or in surrounding businesses within like a mile or 2 radius. And I would start following those businesses, whether they're a restaurant, whether they're a dentist, whether they're another type of doctor. Because what's going to happen is people probably within that 5 to 10 mile radius follow that business's business. So I will follow a couple businesses at a time and I'm going to start kind of interacting if it seems appropriate. But mostly what I want to do is I want to see who's following them, right? So I'm going to go to their followers and I'm going to maybe 2 to 5 people a day start following their people, especially if they seem to live in the area. You might not know, but there's a good chance that those people, because it's a business in the area and they're following it, are probably relatively in driving distance from that business, right? So each day I'm going through and I'm kind of rifling through who those businesses are and who those followers are, and I'm going to start following them. I don't want to do too much a day because again, if you just follow a whole bunch of people, you're gonna have to unfollow a bunch of people, and that makes you look like a bot for some reason. You want it to be relatively organic, okay? And this should only take 5 minutes a day. So I don't want you spending a ton of time on this, but consistent over time will lead to people what? Interacting with your page. How's that part going to happen? So you're following them, and you guys might notice a few new followers. If the page is small enough, like I have quite a few followers, but I still notice when someone new follows, especially if they look local, they look interesting, or if I recognize their name, right? And what do? We go click on that person and we start looking at their page and seeing who they are, what they did, who follows them. Like, do I know this person? Why are they following me? So I'm curious now, right? So that alone might create an interaction. But what you're going to do is go to their page, start looking at their stories, maybe commenting or liking their posts, maybe DMing them if if something they have is interesting. So what's going to happen is you're creating this interaction and then inviting them to interact with you. So maybe I didn't know Kathy and she's following a business that maybe a restaurant in my area, right? And I start noticing she has all this dog content, right? And I'm like, oh, these dogs are so cute. I just, it can be so organic. It could be, don't think that you have to always be salesy. Just get to know them and show them some love, right? I do this. I didn't even, and we kind of naturally do this, right? But sometimes we forget to create a bigger reach. We kind of just look at the same people every single day. Like you guys, appreciate you if you're looking at my stories every day and commenting and liking, but we already have a relationship. Go find some new relationships, okay? And if you keep this up over time, this is how you interact with people on social media. This is how you start locking them in. I have locked in, I might have met that person from different avenues, sometimes not. Or I follow them because a friend, they know a friend or something. There's different reasons why I followed people, but I have locked some of those people into my business. Okay, that is one way I have gathered clients into my business. Okay. The text part definitely did that. That is how I filled the first week of my books 9 years ago. I reached out to every single person that I thought might be interested. I kind of was already gathering a list of people that might be interested in my business. I texted all of them, I emailed all of them, and I put them on my books and I filled my books the first week of business. Okay, so the text strategy like really, really works. You already have trust built with that person. Social media is a little more tricky. It takes a little more effort, but if you break it down to little bits each day, I guarantee you guys will get some feedback into your business. Okay, I'm going to stop on that little rant. Does anyone have any questions on that? Okay, cool. All right. So another thing I really want to talk about, this is like, okay, I went to the event, Monica, or I was going to go to the event, or I hear you on these social media rants or text rants. What do I do next? Right? I talked a little bit about this at the event, but I want to really reiterate this because sometimes the timing is not right. And if you guys got my annoying emails and text messages that hopefully you loved because you love me, I want you to know I did that in a way to show you how are you like demonstrating how you should touch base with some of these people, whether it's a future client or a future referral person. Okay. So BAMFAM stands for book a meeting from a meeting. I'm just going to move my guy over so I can see what I'm saying to you guys. Okay. So what is your follow-up process? Is it clear? Is it strategical? Have you communicated how this person maybe you met at the event that you'd like to cross-refer with or even use as a client should interact with you after either this session, this meeting, this networking event, okay? And have you expressed some type of urgency? The urgency isn't always necessary, but I'll explain to you how one way I gently drip in urgency to my potential clients, okay? So what I like to do when I'm at the networking events, right, is get their information. Yes, it's important to switch information, but the most important thing is to get their cell phone number, number one, Maybe their social media, maybe their email. All those things are important, but I guarantee you, unless they're like super old school and they really conduct business just by email, some people do, but they're going to respond to a text message, right? So you should write all these down, whether it's in your notes or on a piece of paper. Did you gather that information? Okay, how are you interacting with social media? For example, though, if we're following up from that, again, this is to create constant interactions and, of course, use the strategy of asking questions, which I will reiterate later and I'll explain where. Okay, so let's say you met someone at a coffee shop, at an event, or however, do you have a follow-up process? And what I mean by that is, okay, this week I went to the event on Sunday. I'm going to email everybody within 24 to 48 hours, and I'm going to text them to make sure they got that email or even just offering another way to connect. Okay. That's me a little bit more buttoned up. If I just met someone, let's say I went to a dinner and it was a birthday, right? And I sat next to this girl, I started asking her questions, and she was like, "Oh, I've been dealing with this neck pain and it's driving me nuts. I tried the chiropractor. It like helped a little bit, but it's still really bothering me." And I'm like, "Oh, you know what? That's crazy because you know what I do? I do acupuncture and I treat a lot of necks, right?" So, what I would do with her is gather her information. I might share mine as well and open the window. Hey, if you're ever open to trying acupuncture, have you tried acupuncture before? Well, if you're really needing help, I'd love to support you in how that is. Or if it's not me, I can always refer you to someone else. Okay. I kind of like keep it in a humbled sense. Okay. But by asking questions, like I mentioned in the event, and really kind of learning more about her, she's building trust with me because I care, because I've created a space where I can listen, right? I think Erica, I'm going to probably have her share her post event if she's willing to experience on this in a second. Okay, but my follow up with that person, right? I'm going to, I literally set myself reminders after I meet someone the next day. I'm like, okay, what's a realistic time for me? 10. At 10 a.m., I go, "Hey, Julie, it was so nice to meet you last night. I just wanted to say hi again. It was lovely connecting with you. I just want to check in on that neck pain. Is it feeling any better?" And I might just stop there and see if she responds. Or I can just go all in. Like, "Hey, I don't know if you're interested, but I actually had a cancellation on Wednesday. If you wanted to come in, I'd love to have you and see if I can help. I love working on people's necks." That's actually the truth. So what did I do? Maybe I didn't have a cancellation. Maybe I just didn't fill my books on Wednesday. Nobody knows what they don't know. Stop assuming they know the nitty-gritty about what's going on in your life or your books, okay? You could be 100% booked for all they know, or have two people on the books out of 25 slots. Nobody has to know. But you know what? All she knows from me, and I'm not trying to be, you know, not truthful with people, but what this does at the end of this, right? It says, "Have you expressed urgency? I have this slot. I'm pretty booked the rest of the week. I'd love to get you in and help you as fast as possible. Otherwise, we could shoot for like a week and a half, 2 weeks." Now she's like, "Okay, this pain is driving me nuts. Maybe I should just get in." Or she's like, "You know what? Darn, I'm busy. I can wait till next week. Can we put it on the books?" You're kind of creating an energy of, yes, let's just do this, right? Let's get started. Okay. If you have any questions on that, drop it in the chat. Okay. Again, I want to reiterate, sometimes the timing is just not right for that person, and that's okay. Maybe Julie did set, in her head was she's really scared of needles. She heard of a friend maybe had a bad experience. And I have not built at this point enough trust with her for her to say yes. Or, maybe money's a little tight and she's a little embarrassed about it. Okay, so there can be multiple, we call them obstacles, that person doesn't say yes, but they're not necessarily going to express it right away. However, there's a few things you can take note, okay, right? Again, the 12 o'clock principle. They're not at 12 o'clock yet. It's okay. Ask permission to stay connected. Ask them to contact you if they or anyone they know might need your service. Okay, always keep that door open. And remember, you can't make it 12 o'clock for them. So don't don't try to take on the no as something is wrong with you and your business and you're not good enough. Okay. It's easy to do this. So, no does not mean no, but it just means not right now. And also ask for that permission once again, like maybe, hey, is it okay if I check in you next week and just see how you're doing? Like, have again more follow-up process. And then maybe switch social media. There's different ways to stay connected so that maybe when she has enough money, maybe when she realizes, enough is enough, even if I don't love acupuncture, or the idea of a needle, I'm going to try it anyways. That was me. I hated needles. And man, it just wasn't anything I expected. And I got so much relief to the point that here I am as a licensed acupuncturist, right? So there's different ways to build this out, okay? And you really have to reflect on when someone gave you an opportunity to work with someone as a client yourself. And we don't always say yes right away. We need more information. We need to build more trust, right? And I need you guys to be more diligent in creating that for someone else. Okay, I always like this little formula. Some will, some won't, some wait, somewhere, six will, so what? Someone's waiting. So the more energy you put toward the person that said no, and that feeling you get in your stomach, you're wasting a lot of energy when someone's actually waiting that is ready to say yes to you. So move forward, move on. Okay. Remember, 10 out of 100. And then the closing rate from that is small, but it grows, right? So you got to hit up 100 people if you need 5 to 10 clients. All right. So this is something we talked about a little bit. I don't have time to go over it today, but we're going to keep cultivating this, because this was really important. So at the networking event, for those of you who weren't there, we did a speed networking and we practice not only sharing what it is that we do and giving our elevator pitch, but identifying the client type. So this is something I'm going to go over more because in the future, because this is something that helps when you're networking. So let's say my ideal client type, I help women who run client-based businesses mindfully network and organically attract the clients they need to become successful in business and meet their purpose. So by me sharing that, if I'm looking for more clients, you guys might think of someone and refer them to me. In the same instance, maybe one of you guys will do that. Actually, before I keep moving on, Erica, if you'd like, I wanted you to quickly share that you were sharing with me. You kind of sat at a coffee shop, I believe, and ended up connecting with a couple people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Always happy to share. Hi, everyone. Erica here. I'm happy that I got to meet you guys last week, and thanks, Monica, for creating this space for all of us to connect. Yeah. So on what day was it? My goodness, the days just blur together. Friday, I decided to just go out for myself. I took myself out to like a solo dinner, and I brought a book that I was really kind of nerd out on. It's a neuroscience based book about the brain. And I ended up getting into two really cool conversations with strangers just based off of my book, but also just based off of things that I'm passionate about. And there was a couple and a lady there that kind of actually fit exactly my clientele. And, they both asked, like, oh, are you a neuroscientist? I'm like, no, I'm just really passionate about this and helping people. And I went into the spiel from my training from last week of already honing in my client. She fit my client identity that I was looking for. She's a female, had gone through a stroke and some trauma support. And she goes, as I'm talking to her, and she's like, well, what do you do? I was like, well, I'm a dancer by trade, but this is what I'm, growing right now. And she goes, how can we get this workshop going? I want to take it. I want to be there. And so I got her contact information. I'm actually going to follow up with her today, post Monica's comment right now. But I was like, yes, I got to text her and check in with her. But yeah, so I explained to her that I use movement modalities and meditation and somatics um, to help people regulate emotions and move through traumas. So she is super excited and on board. And she was like, I want to make this happen. And it was just really cool to have a validating experience from someone that I didn't know. This just meant to me that was like, this is my future client. This is someone that wants to work with me. And that just means that I was kind of aligning with all the things that I want to give back to the world. So
Amazing. So that is so exciting that Erica not only like learned, she attended the event, but she quickly took action. She saw an opportunity to ask people questions and learn about them, just based off of like a relatively random, meet. And to the point where she had her elevator pitch ready, you just heard it. She helps, women who have had a traumatic experience use movement and somatic exercises and meditation to help get that feeling out of their body, move that trauma, and live a more, healthy life in their mental and emotional wellness, right? And now physical wellness, right? Because they're moving. Sometimes that's
yeah. So it's kind of cool. She even said like, "Oh, I've been so disconnected from my body post the stroke that I had, and my doctors told me that I really just need to do some movement, but I don't know what that looks like." And I was like, "You don't need to be a dancer to do this." So it's always fun to segue for people that like think dance can be really intimidating for a lot of people, to make them feel comfortable and make it feel acceptable.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So some key takeaways I want you guys to know is she really took the time to create a space where she was asking those people questions, right? So ask again, I'm going to keep reiterating that from the event. Ask questions because they will tell you. It's like a spiritual experience. You're like, here's my client. And now you just have to follow up. You have to get their contact in. You have to explain that you can be the person that helps them, right? So thank you so much, Erica, for sharing that. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, make sure to drop in that book, Erica, in the chat. Okay. So again, when you develop cross referrals through networking, which again is something we are continuing to build here, people will refer to you aggressively. Right now, Erica is having a moment, right, through sharing her experience to reiterate what her ideal client is. A lot of us right now are thinking, oh, yeah, I can think of a few people that aren't moving enough that really could utilize her services. Okay. And the more that we build the relationships with each other, I'm going to feel more comfortable with sending someone to Erica, right? Or vice versa. Okay. As people begin to learn about us, learn about our character, and just really know what it is that we do. When we build these networking opportunities, then we can much more easily share. Okay. Share clients, share our friends, share our people. Okay, but remember, you must build the relationship. It doesn't start with the initial meet or greet. That's why I love the events that we do. That starts in that in-person thing, but through this community, we're going to continue to truly build that. Okay, the reality is this is easy to do, easy not to do. So some of you who have just attended the event or maybe not gotten the opportunity to attend the event, okay, Unstoppable Brain by Dr. Kyra Bobinet. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Erica. All right, so let's work together. Okay, so there's a few ways to work with me if you guys are struggling. The one that I created most recently and launched at the event, I want to reiterate here because I know a lot of you are kind of getting your feet wet and expense is a little bit challenging. You're not where I was maybe 5 years into my career where I had a little bit of extra finances to do, $300 an hour coaching, or, I did this really expensive, like 10 grand thing to develop online businesses. They were great, right? I learned a lot, but a lot of us are not there yet. So I wanted to create something that was a lot more affordable to get you guys started in this networking aspect. So I created the Mindful Networking Community. So this is the official launch, and I wanted to offer you all a 30-day trial. Okay. I'm going to drop in, let's see, the link here into the chat. Please save this. And if you guys have more questions, obviously I'm going to go over it right now. Please let me know by either email, info@drmonicacoaching.com, or text message. You guys should have my personal number. I will drop it in here as well. Info. All right, so what this is a community to help us stay connected and continue to have moments like this, where we are sharing our ideal client, where we are building relationships with each other that will lead up to the live events. Okay, I will continue, whoever's in this community, to offer the live events for free. And I will be expanding at a low cost for others to join the events too, because we want to keep expanding the people. So you guys are kind of on the ground floor in the aspect of everything's going to be very low cost and you're getting a lot of services for free, because I want to make it easy and simple for you guys to join and feel like you're networking and getting something from it. So not only am I going to be providing the networking experience, but I want to make sure that you guys, let's see. Page. Here we go. All right. Here they are. I'm not only going to build the networking aspect and teach you how to network within the community, but I will continue to drip in. I used to sell a 6-month program for around $1,000. Okay, a lot of those coaching tools that I had created for that program, I'm going to drip into here. Whether that's financial budgeting, tax information, how to continue to client attract and grow, how to work on your mindset with books like what Erica shared. What were some pivotal ones for that? What are those habits and what they can look like? How can you fit this growing aspect around you, around your busy life already, right? But to be honest, the reality is you guys probably don't have you have the time, because if you have those hours that you're trying to serve clients, those hours are not filled yet, right? That's why you're on this call. So let these tools lead you, let the community lead you, and diligently put aside a time to interact with this community, right? So one thing I really want to talk about too is, how are you showing up in your business? So just because you only booked Wednesday and Thursday, 4 hours of clients, if that is not what's your availability in its entirety, you need to change. You need to change this. You do not only show up for your business when clients show up. You need to, so let's use me as an example. I have office hours on Monday from 9 to 6-ish. On Tuesdays the same, and Thursdays the same, right? Let's say I have someone who's sick and I don't fill that my books, right? In that hour and a half that I have a cancellation, I'm always doing back end work, whether that's marketing, charting, all those types of things. So if it was me and I had several hours of and you guys have to be concrete about your schedule, even if it's just 2 days a week for 6 hours, and that's where you get started. Because if you leave the whole week open, that's a little overwhelming. Use some of that time for going to, the gym, making delicious food at home. You don't have to spend all your time on your business, but you do have to have very diligently placed schedules in place so you get this stuff done. This is working on your business. So the strategies I taught you about social media marketing, yes, you can do it at home before you go to bed, but if you have all these open hours and you're not showing up at your business physically, it creates you have to create an energy that this is time I set aside for my business, and this slot will be filled by a client. Does that make sense to everyone? So again, if Monica had this week, let's say my Tuesday had 3 slots open, I'm not going to go, you know what? Sometimes you do have to do this. I get this. Other parts of your life need a little catching up on. I get that. But more times than not, if that's what's happening in my business, I need to show up. I need to start creating social media marketing. I need to start creating a blog. I need to start doing all these other strategies that create more movement in my business. Does that make sense to everyone? If it does, type in a 222 in the chat. And by typing in the 222, I want you to honor that about yourself. We're going to wrap up this call really, really quick. Sorry, I just realized it's 10:04, but we started a few minutes late. Awesome. Making sense. So a big thing for all of you guys on the call today is start dedicating that time to your business. It is your baby. You've worked so hard on this skill, on what you've created to offer to people. I want you to love on it the way that you love on other aspects of your life. Okay, so I'll be dripping in there. So when you guys get to the link, okay, you hit join now. And if you're not quite ready, you can always join my email list to hear more about my specials, my information, and other ways you can work with me. And you have an option. You always get the 30-day free trial to start learning some of the things in the community. And then from there, it's $44 a month, or for much less per month. I think it saves you about 11 bucks a month. It's $3.99 a year after the free trial. I don't believe it takes your credit card. So it's just going to prompt you when you're ready to continue in the community and you're finding value, because I get it. We all have our hesitations about getting started somewhere, but you know what, you guys, if your business is not full of clients, I need you to dedicate some type of energy. So if it's not this very low cost, tax writable, $44 a month to start networking with the right people, to start learning more of what you learned today, and take that and breathe that life into your business so that you guys can create the income you need especially in San Diego or Southern California, and enjoy what you do, really fulfill your purpose by making the money you need, by having the clients you need, so you're actually doing what it is that you love. I can help you get there. Okay, I am so confident in that. If you show up with me here, I will show up with you guys and help you make those interactions, help breathing that client life into your business. Okay, so again, you can click the link above the 222s and let's just get started. Okay. All right, I know that's a little aggressive, but I had a lot of coffee this morning. All right, so we already did that. So last thing, if you guys didn't get an opportunity to, is I want you guys all in the chat to just quickly, we're gonna have another practice really quick if you're still on. I want you to explain your name, what your business is, and who your ideal client type is, okay? And some of you might not have learned that. That's okay. In the community, while you're starting to create that message, and things on your ideal client type are, is it a woman? Is it a man? It doesn't have to be gender specific. I'm just offering something simple. Age group 25 to 40. How do you serve them? Do you serve them in ways to get healthy? Do you serve them in, I don't know, finding a home, the home of their dreams? Like, what is it that you do? Okay, and while that's happening, I'm just going to show you guys, this is the community and a little bit of how it works. And also, oh, sorry, ways to contact you guys. So maybe there's someone, like I already saw someone give some feedback to Erica who wants to attend her workshop, because I know I do. Okay, make sure, Erica, that you drop in here how to contact you. Is it an email? Is it a phone number? Is it social media? So we can find out the latest and greatest on your workshop. Okay, so I have created how to share your business here. Inside you hit read post. There'll be pinned posts that help you navigate these topics. This one is share your business. Okay, so what you're going to do here is you can put a photo, you can put a video of you live in action, whatever that works. This one is one of me actually live in action several years. This is my old treatment room. Definitely need to do an updated one since I had a baby. But what this does is it's showing you a little bit of
that same thing.
a little bit more about what it looks like. You guys can watch it on your own of how it is to work with me. So in this community, you're going to introduce yourself, the profession, who your ideal client is. We're going to keep working on that. There'll be pages on that, whether it's a video or kind of a worksheet. What problem do you solve for your client? How do you solve this problem? And videos, okay? And I put my example to follow in here as well. And it'll show you how to hashtag it and everything so that people can find you. Okay, so in general, let's see, this is how it works. So I also created a post about how it works, about sharing your business posts, interacting with the other posts so that you can start looking for people to network with, right? I'm going to be dropping in the tools. Some of them will look like attachments into business tools. You also get So I'll be doing these a couple times a month. We'll be dropping in free group coaching live, or you can watch the recording. If you have specific questions, you can email me, text me, and I can address them more better on the group coaching. It's a little bit more Q&A. Sometimes I'll come with material like I did today. A lot of that will probably be recorded into the community because I want to serve you guys very specifically. Amazing. Thanks for dropping this in, guys. So Erica, she supports women 18 and up in regulating their emotions through the use of somatics and movement modalities to heal through trauma and reconnect with their bodies. Her practice is called intuitive movement, and this is how it's her phone number and her IG, guys. Alexandria, she does soft touch massage using ASMR techniques. Her ideal clients, people who suffer from tension, anxiety, overstimulation. Her contact is here, her phone number and email. So I'll give you guys a few more minutes to keep dropping them in, whoever's still on the call. I will continue again the in-person events which will continue to be free to those who are in the community. And then they will be paid for anyone who hasn't joined the community, mostly to help cover costs. And make sure you guys follow the rules. So obviously, a big one is if you have business coaching, I'd prefer that you be a little more respectful to me in here. Unless, we have a completely different client type, then feel free to reach out to me. I don't want to really block you from growing in this community at all. But mostly it's just to be positive. We want to support each other. We want to help each other build each other's businesses. Because if we put out that energy is going to return unto us. All right. Okay. Any questions before I close out the call? I'm sorry, we ran a little bit over. If you feel you guys got some value from today, please type some, let's do 7s in the chat. Amazing. I look forward to connecting you with all of you, hopefully in the near future. If not, whenever is the 12 o'clock principle for you, right? The timing. I will be posting this recording. I'll email it out to all the attendees. And please feel free to reach out with more questions. I look forward to seeing you all in the community and helping grow your businesses. Oh, there is one thing I forgot. I will be, you know what, guys? I have the raffle stuff here, but there was a few people that dropped in the community. So I am raffling off a 90-minute session. But I don't want to miss out on the people that got invited in the community. So let me go ahead and actually do the physical raffle. And then I will reach out to you personally and give you that 90-minute session. Okay, so look forward to that. Look out for that email, free 90-minute one-on-one coaching. Oh, and last thing, if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, I am offering 50% off if you book till I believe it's mid-February or the first week of February. I'll have to get back to you guys on that. If I mess that up and you're a little bit past that date, no big deal, I'll honor it. But my 60-minute, 90-minute one-on-one coaching, if you have specific strategies you need within your business, I will be offering that 50% off to anyone on this call and who attended the event. Because I know some of you, yes, the networking aspect is important, but you actually have very specific things to work on, and that's okay too. So thank you, everyone. I will talk to you soon and have a lovely rest of your Sunday.
Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, ladies.